Look at any successful society, and you will find an endless, driving demand to move. We rely on the daily rapid transit of both people and goods to keep modern economies functioning. For most of history, trade was strictly capped by geography. You could only sell to the people you could physically reach. But as technology advances, the physical boundaries of a market expand outward. In a country as vast and geographically diverse as India, distance is a formidable economic barrier. Organizing these scattered populations and regional industries into a single, cohesive national market requires an immense level of structural ambition. In 2001, the National Highways Development Project launched its answer. This is the Golden Quadrilateral, a massive network linking 4 major nodal cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Paving thousands of kilometers of Earth is a physical declaration. It turns a fragmented map into an integrated national market. The physical scale of this network is actually quite deceptive. By surface area, the Golden Quadrilateral makes up barely 2% of India's total infrastructure. This chart highlights a massive utility gap. That tiny 2% footprint handles 40% of total national traffic. For goods, the data is even more skewed. 65% of all Indian freight travels down these specific roads. This extreme concentration of traffic and trade makes these highways the literal lifeline of the economy. Whether it's a global corporation moving manufacturing parts or a small farmer trying to get their harvest to a distant buyer, they completely rely on this exact asphalt. Stretching 5,846 kilometers, this is the 5th longest highway project in the world. Let's trace how that distance breaks down. The northern leg from Delhi to Kolkata relies on National Highway 2. Heading west, the route from Delhi down to Mumbai weaves through National Highways 8 and 79. Moving south, National Highways 4 and 7 connect Mumbai to Chennai. Finally, Highways 6 and 5 carry the route back up from Kolkata to Chennai, completing the shape. The geometry of the route captures secondary economic hubs, weaving cities like Agra, Jaipur, Surat, and Bangalore into the primary grid. This project successfully transformed 4 isolated metropolitan islands into a single, integrated circulatory system. Financing a project of this magnitude required creative engineering. The government started by introducing a historic cess, a targeted tax on petrol and diesel. Those funds were locked into a dedicated central road fund. They also established special purpose vehicles, or SPVs. These are independent financial entities set up specifically to borrow money and leverage funds entirely outside the constraints of traditional government budgets. To bring in foreign and private money, they offered contracts on a build, operate, and transfer basis. Private agencies construct and maintain the road, collect tolls to recoup their investment over a set period, and then hand the road back to the state. When the project was drawn up in 1999, the initial estimated cost was set at 600 billion rupees. This chart shows a rare outcome for a massive public works project. The final cost incurred by the government was roughly half of the initial estimate, coming in at 308.58 billion rupees. This complex financial architecture allowed the project to move forward at scale while keeping the government's direct liability significantly lower than first expected. Laying down 5,800 kilometers of asphalt carries costs that don't easily appear on a standard financial balance sheet. A simple cost-benefit analysis is fairly rigid. It only subtracts the financial cost of building the road from the economic benefit of the improved transport links. Modern infrastructure projects require a sophisticated cost-benefit analysis. This framework attempts to assign hard financial values to highly intangible things, like the cost of environmental damage or the personal benefit of a faster commute. To measure this, economists rely on 2 specific metrics. First is willingness to pay, calculating how much people are willing to spend for an environmental gain. The second is willingness to accept, determining how much compensation is required for an environmental loss. True infrastructure accounting measures the permanent disruption to ecosystems and local communities alongside the speed of freight. A highway network of this size is never truly finished. By 2009, an initiative was announced to expand the existing 4-lane highways into 6-lane corridors. These modern expansions are largely being executed under a DBFO pattern, which stands for Design, Build, Finance, and Operate. But widening a road is often harder than building it in the first place. The expansion project has faced constant delays, primarily due to complex land acquisition disputes and the need to renegotiate with contractors. Despite those hurdles, regional successes persist. This wide stretch of highway shows the successfully completed 6-lane conversion between Vadodara and Surat. Sustaining the Golden Quadrilateral is an endless, careful negotiation between the demand for economic acceleration and the physical limits of its